All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the next Autodesk Cloud Construction webinar. This one really based on Collaborate Pro. Before we start, just a bit of an introduction from my side. My name is Dino Kapic, and I like to party. For those of you who don't know me, here's my face, here's my photo, so you get to know who I am. And I've been working for Modena as an ACC applications engineer and now as well as a BIM manager from on a bunch of projects with the team here. I've seen some amazing Autodesk platform and features, and today I'll be guiding you through the new Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro platform. So this will be an overview and a bit of a deep dive into the features of this new platform. So let's go. Just a bit of a webinar agenda today. We're going to be discussing a bit of the context behind the whole collaboration and work sharing in the cloud. We are going to see what is the Collaborate Pro software. And of course, we're going to touch on some features such as software collaboration, managed team collaboration, as well as coordination such as clash detection. Afterwards, we are going to be touching on the civil 3D capabilities, as well as the plant 3D capabilities. And then straight afterwards, we are going to then run our Q&A session. So to begin, in a COVID-changed world, the challenges our industry faces seems daunting, with more unpredictability and a volatile than ever before industry. ACC businesses like yours are looking to harness cloud technologies as the new normal for the design practice. So with the cloud, it is possible to maintain business continuity. So you can work from anywhere on anything with insight. Remember the phrase continuity. In order to reduce risk and gain efficiency in day-to-day operations, and you know this well, when your teams are disconnected, redundancies and errors multiply. Now you can readily mobilize for any time, anywhere, work at home, from a remote office, or from an external partner. Keep in mind that you also need to stay connected in an ecosystem of tools where clarity is the name of the game. Whether you are collaborating on a design or capturing feedback or running a clash detection on 2 or more models. To enable clarity in an organization means a lot. So how does this work? Now, we know that in order to better manage unpredictability and disruptions, you need to empower your team and business with the flexibility to adapt as requirements change. This means fewer silos and more integration of platforms. And then finally, your business needs a better visibility and the insight into everyday design work. Which processes are working for your teams and which are not? What communication methods are you using to ensure round-trip resolution? And how to reduce the condition for repeated errors? That last one is a main pain point. We don't want to repeat the same error again and again and again. So with the Autodesk Cloud Construction, or the ACC, there are opportunities for growth, learning, and innovations, and this all starts with connection. So, connected workflows. You want to connect your teams, toolsets, and data all in one place to improve productivity and avoid rework. You want to be able to collaborate in your preferred design tool, communicate progress in real time, and manage all documentation on a single platform that is built to understand the AEC industry. You want to be flexible as well. AEC workflows that are flexible with a platform, that are not siloed between other platforms and other cloud storage. Hubs, so to your data storage. Data that is centralized in one place and data that maintains its integrity. And also data that we learn from its analytical and insight overview. Remember, connected, flexible, powerful platforms is what we are trying to utilize for this cloud-based operation. So what is BIM360 Collaborate? Sorry, what is BIM360 BIM Collaborate and BIM Collaborate Pro? Well, first and foremost, these are products that include key features for Revit users, such as Autodesk Docs, the foundation of Autodesk Construction Cloud Platform. For those of you who are joining last week, you got to see all the necessary features for you to utilize in the cloud with Autodesk Docs. And that is your 50-file viewers, your robust permission sets, 2D and 3D version comparison tools. You also are looking at the design collaboration model, giving you customers a higher degree of control over how and with whom their project data is shared, as well as the unique ability to see all changes from a version-to-version perspective. So remember, your Revit Cloud work sharing enables you to do this collaboration in the cloud anytime, anywhere with other users. And of course, don't forget the design collaboration process. This is a module now that sticks with the Collaborate Pro version. And the idea is I can see the milestones as well as the teams who are feeding into this federated model. And now a new feature that comes with the BIM Collaborate is the idea to do the model coordination. So automatic clash detections, clash grouping, as well as coordination issues that we can leverage from one platform where we are collaborating to and where our document management process is happening. So BIM Collaborate Pro adds powerful Revit work sharing technology that enables real-time Revit work sharing virtually anywhere, anytime, with clash detections, with a document management system. So let's look at Collaborate Pro, and this is the software collaboration. So if you are concerned about complex projects by enabling members to better collaborate on a design, you can use BIM Collaborate Pro to enable multiple users to co-author a Revit model. So we had this before with BIM360 Design. The idea, though, is that the features have been improved upon, and this is for Autodesk Revit, Civil 3D, and Plant 3D. And then it gives you access to the following. The idea is we have extended work sharing for virtually anywhere for the Revit users. Then we enable easy, secure, multi-firm concurrent authoring tools, and that allows Civil 3D and Plant 3D to connect with Revit. And then we connect multiple project team disciplines. So it's not just the architects anymore. It's now also service engineers, as well as your structural engineers. And then finally, data that is backed up in the cloud. Because it's not in a siloed server in somebody's office, we have access now to our data anytime, anywhere in the cloud to download from version 1 to version 150. Whatever your requirements are, it's there. It's backed up for you. So when we talk about collaboration, we need to know that there's a central managed data set in the cloud on the new unified platform. And of course, on this same platform, we can share, we can view, we can mark up, detect, clash items on virtually any device. And the idea here is it's not just a designing tool, but a tool for coordination at the same time. When we talk about the managed collaboration or how we manage our teams, if your concern is efficiency in a team communication, you can use BIM360 Collaborate Pro to ensure that your project team is always aware of your project's overall progress. So the features that have been approved upon here is the design collaboration feature. And it gives you now access to the managed design exchange between teams in order to reduce rework with trackable project activity. We track milestones to ensure accountability. So we facilitate the model exchange and deliverables and coordination. And we can analyze 3D and 2D changes before accepting it. So we understand changes in context between the aggregated model in a single space. And then
With Collaborate Pro, you can connect your Revit, Civil 3D, as well as Plant 3D into the ACC Docs Hub. The idea here is that project administrators and project team members can work alongside each other and collaborate their models online anytime, anywhere. The idea here is, though, that you need to have a team collaboration structure. You need to have available team folders in order to initiate, save, sync, and publish your Revit model into ACC Docs. The additional design collaboration service goes even further into this. The idea here is I can monitor my teams, their milestones, and all publications that they have published. For example, if I go under the architect, I can select and see that there is a model ready for me to consume. However, before consumption, I can always explore the model. I can zoom in, out, and around. I can do third-person walks. I can section the model, whether it be up, down, left, or right. I can go beyond this and even use a measuring tool in order for me to measure from point to point. Of course, my measurements can be changed from decimal feet to millimeters, and it should update my measurements. If I want to go beyond this and see the necessary changes, I can always tell the ACC to show me the changes between the different versions. However, when I'm ready to accept the changes and link it back into my Revit model, I can simply just select Consume and then carry on my work in progress from that point in time.
So there's a lot that we can do when we are managing our collaboration team. But when it comes to coordinating between our teams, it used to be a headache. So the idea is if you're concerned that efficiency in team communication is low, that there's only one coordinator, this has now changed. So the idea here is the features that have been improved upon is the coordination. By the way, this comes now with the Collaborate license itself. So the idea here is you are no longer just communicating and collaborating, but you are coordinating as a team. So everybody with this access will be allowed to coordinate their model. So the idea is we have access to an add-on to a new and existing Collaborate Pro license that allows us to run a clash detection. We can do this automatically with models that have been published and uploaded or updated in the Autodesk cloud space. And of course, this can be grouped. So you can do group clashings and start assigning those to individuals who are responsible to fix it. And of course, if we are now assuming or we are looking for problematic items that are going to appear on site, we can track these issues on the model, fix them before they even reach site work. So let's take a look at what the clash detection feature looks like.
With Collaborate Pro, you can go beyond just cloud work sharing and of course document management. The idea here is to help you coordinate your design as well with the clash detection item that comes along and is featured within the Collaborate Pro Plus, as well as BIM360 design projects. For those of you who are still running BIM360 design, this is a service that you can activate at any time going forward now. The idea here is if I go to my clashes, I can go select on specific models to clash. Or I can go see the clash report that is auto-generated by the ACC. And just a rule of thumb, the darker the coloration, the more clashes are showcasing between those models. For example, here for 5624, that is the HVAC model versus the architect model. Whereas with 5 clashes, this is electrical versus the plumbing model. By selecting on this grouping, it'll take you directly to those two models that are being overlaid, and of course, showcase those clashes. Once the model has finished processing, which takes about a minute or two, you'll see that on the left-hand side, it is grouping your clash for you. It's telling you exactly which is the primary model and which is the secondary model or clashing model. And here are my 5 clashes. The idea here is as soon as I select the clash, it's going to take me to those objects. And Utilizing even more features in BIM360, I can pivot, turn, zoom out and in to where these elements are clashing. By selecting on the clash, you highlight a bold coloration now for the clash itself. And the idea here is you can dictate to the ACC whether this is an issue on the model or not an issue. So the idea here is as soon as I go create an issue, I can drop a pin location on the model. This is going to open my issue registry that I can fill in and assign to specific users. So when creating an issue on a clash, you'll see that there are a little bit of variations now between the old BIM360 methodology and now the new ACC workflow. So the idea here is before I even publish this, I can keep this as an unpublished clash. Like before, I still get a title, a status, and a type. Keep in mind that this type coordination is for filtering purposes in order to run reporting on the system. What's most important now is I can assign these clashes to other Collaborate Pro users. This way, there is not just one person anymore coordinating, but an entire team online at any point in time coordinating their services, their models with the project team itself.
And then when it comes to even more features with the Collaborate Pro version, we have now the handle to connect our Civil 3D model into the cloud and of course connect it to our Revit model. So Civil 3D links to virtually anywhere into Revit now from the cloud. It enables easy, secure, multi-firm concurrent authoring. So the idea here is I can watch my Civil 3D guys build up the topographical surface and then bring it into BIM360 and utilize that in my Revit model from the cloud. Of course, you can place and assign and track all issues like we did with the clash detection on a civil model. And that can be tracked and reported on as well. And then the big key feature here is as well, besides the markups and the comments, we have automatic clash detection with the civil model as well. When we start talking about the Plant 3D integration, much like Civil 3D, Plant 3D links to virtually anywhere into Revit now. And this comes with the PNID service. So if I've created the plant in that authoring tool, I can bring it into ACC and then link it and PNID it into Revit as well. We also have an enabled easy, secure, multi-firm concurrent authoring tool with Revit and Plant 3D. And the idea here, again, I can place and assign and track all issues on my Plant 3D model before I even bring it into Revit. And of course, add markups and comments to what is necessary on the model. And like I said before, automatic clash detections come with Plant 3D as well, not just with Revit or Civil 3D, but with Plant itself. So before we go any further, there are a few things you guys need to know about Collaborate Pro. Collaborate Pro does connect with other ACC services, such as ACC Docs, ACC Coordination, ACC Build Services, and of course your ACC Takeoff. And for those of you who are using Revit, Civil 3D, and Plant 3D, Collaborate Pro is the tool for you in order to go into the cloud and work share from there with other users as well. So, are there any questions? By the way, we do have some surprise guests today. One is Jacques, who's our Civil 3D master in-house, and of course, Floyd, who's our Plant 3D master in-house. I'm going to switch on the camera so you guys can see. Here are the two gentlemen.
Hi,
if you guys have the questions.
Well, basically, I do have a question that throughout my experience, I've been obviously visualizing or seeing the collaboration within BIM360, but now I'd like to understand what is the relationship between Revit, Plant 3D, and Collaborate Pro.
So in the past, you know, it was a bit of a headache where we had different authoring tools for different sets, and everybody wants to be on Revit. The idea here now is I can still, with my Plant 3D guys and experts, design their planting PNID systems as well as ISO schematics on the Plant 3D software. But if they are utilizing Collaborate Pro, they can send that same model to the cloud, and I, as a Revit MEP user, can utilize that model and then almost duplicate with the P&ID process in Revit because of the Collaborate Pro license.
Interesting.
Yeah. I see that we've got a question already right here in the chat box. The differences between Collaborate and Collaborate Pro. All right, so this is a good question. If you're looking at the two license structures, Collaborate is much like your old BIM360 Docs license. It's a quick access into the cloud to see what your Revit, Plant 3D, or any users are doing within the ACC hub itself. The Collaborate Pro, on the other hand, is the add-on functionality that connects Revit, Plant 3D, and Civils 3D. So, I know, Jacques, you were working with topographical surfaces before. You guys weren't doing it from the cloud previously.
No, that's actually a good question because I have a similar question. Does it work similarly to Navisworks? And how is that integration from works in that part? Is it the same as Navisworks or not entirely?
So there are some, if I could say, family relationships there. If we're talking about clash detections, there is big similarities between the clash detection in the ACC versus clash detection in Navisworks Manage. The only difference is Manage goes into a more refined coordination, where the one in the ACC is just an open platform for you to clash your models against other users. And this is a touch-based clash. So if your solid geometry is touching another or going through another, that will register as a clash. Whereas Navisworks has more integrated ways of doing clashes, such as clearance, duplications, reporting, or extensive reporting. So think of Navisworks as more as your fine checking tool and your clash detection in the cloud as a spell check for you and your coordinators. I see we got another question here. This one's from Michael, John actually. Will there be an app for BIM360 Collaborate and BIM360 Collaborate Pro? So in terms of applications, there are apps. The one app is what's called Plan Grid. That connects your ACC hub. But there is now possibly a future improvement alongside that specific application. The BIM360 application is going nowhere. So guys, you can still utilize your BIM app for your BIM projects. All right, I know that there was talk about now the old software. A lot of the guys were telling me, Dino, do we get this now with BIM360 Design? For those of you who don't know, BIM360 Design has now improved and has upgraded to the Collaborate Pro feature. So for those of you who are still running BIM360 projects, your Collaborate Pro is still going to handle ACC as well as the BIM project itself. The only difference is your ACC hub shows all ACC projects as well as BIM360 projects, whereas the BIM side only shows BIM360 projects itself. But besides that, in terms of doing topographical surfaces, I know you guys were connecting Civil 3D. There was a workflow from Civil 3D into Revit.
But it was a very manual process that we had to do. So it was a bit of a workaround to do in the previous project, but yeah, it was a very long journey. But now with what I've realized, the Pro, you can actually just push the surfaces to the cloud.
Yes.
So that's another benefit, especially if you guys are doing designs, for example, platform designs of a building structure. Normally it's a lot of earthquakes or earthworks, and all those materials need to be published. So making it a bit more easier to publish the surface all in one go. And the beauty about it is, what I've realized, you can just correct me, is the process is much faster and it's not a lot of mistakes that you can actually make regarding that.
Actually, you know what, to add on to that, make mistakes. It's perfectly reasonable to make mistakes in all we do. The nice thing about this as well is because it's on the BIM platform, we are now coordinating mistakes easier. It's not, Dino, I did not get that email. I'm sure you heard that wrong. Yeah. Where is the mistake? The idea here is, regardless if you're working with Civil 3D, Revit, AutoCAD, Plant 3D, those models are viewable within the ACC Docs platform. So the moment they get uploaded is the same moment my team can go in, drop in issues, comments, markup, and it's a better way of coordinating our designs. So that loss or that siloed effect between different platforms is now almost non-existent. So I see we got another question here. If one member of the team has a Collaborate Pro license, can all other members on the project get eyes on the coordinated model? Here's the nice thing about this. The Collaborate Pro license, again, is to connect your Revit, Civil, and Plant into the ACC docs. Your Collaborate license now, or BIM Collaborate license, is your old, if I could say, docs license. I don't want to say that because it comes with the coordination feature of clash detection as well. And at the same time, it gives you access into previous items like glue, for example. So if you guys are still utilizing BIM360 Blue, your Collaborate license comes with that feature as well. So there is a bunch of things. I know me and you will tussle every now and then. But the idea here is now for the communication.
Like I've also heard that you mentioned that now there's a relationship between Revit and Civil 3D, and obviously Revit and Plant 3D. Now, is it possible to now interlink the two softwares?
Yes, it is. So we had that possibility before. It was just not as refined in the BIM platform. And from what Autodesk is doing now with their cloud solution is they're refining the features that have come along with BIM360, the same way they did with BIM360 Team. It's becoming better and better. So the coordination and collaboration between me and you, being Plant and Revit, becomes a lot more streamlined. So if I can't do P&IDs, if I can't do the ISO schematics, you can still do it for me and still upload it to BIM360. The only thing I want from his side is the 3D plant itself, because that's what I'm going to interlink into Revit or rebuild in Revit itself. And then, of course, I can still go into my scheduling processes. Whatever comes with Revit, of course, you can still work with that.
Interesting.
All right. So, guys, that's all from our side in terms of questionnaires. Before we close off, there are a few things to note. So, when it comes to the platform itself, whether you are going from planning, designing, coordination, and build, your ACC Docs platform is that streamlined item that helps you from design all the way to operate. And because I've got the man here,
this is the way
that we do our own collaboration with Autodesk. Guys, thank you so much for your time. And we hope to see you guys for the next ACC. It should be the Build platform. That should be happening sometimes next week. All right, guys, from my side, thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a great day. And thank you for joining us.
All right, perfect. Bye, everybody.